Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Happy Face Holdem. This is actually episode number 64 of the poker vlog. For those of you who have been subscribers from the beginning, thank you so much for all your support. And for those of you that are new to the channel, well, thank you too. I hope you take a moment to subscribe down below, hit the thumbs up, always like the videos, and ring the little notification bell so you know when I drop new content. But specifically for those of you that are new, I bring you this intro from one of my favorite photography spots here in town. So I don't claim to be a professional poker player. Nope, I have a full-time day job. I also happen to own a photography company. I'm a professional photographer. I have a wife, I have 5 boys, 3 of which are still at home. And my oldest boy, I think he's older than some of these other popular poker vloggers that I'm sure you all watch. Poker, it really was a hobby that became a passion that's now become a YouTube vlog. I needed a way to study how I played, improve my play, review how I played, and that's why I started this vlog. And it just so happens that the channel grew and some of you wanted to watch it, and I just love doing these videos. So that's why I'm out here still doing these videos. So that kind of gives you an idea of who I am and what I'm doing. And because of all the love you guys give me, I'm ready to do another giveaway here on Happy Face Holdem. 500 likes, we're gonna give away some more swag. And by the time this video drops, we have returned from Las Vegas, Nevada. So all the next vlogs after this one will be Vegas, Bellagio, the Wynn, and wherever else we happen to play at. Let's get into some hands. In our first playable hand, we have an under the gun open to 15 with a hijack call when we look down at pocket 7s, aka hockey sticks or candy canes. So we flat from the button and go 3 ways to a flop of 6, 10, 7 with 2 diamonds, with $50 in the pot. Under the gun continues his pre-flop story with a bet of $25. So let's use the candy cane reference for these pocket 7s because they're pretty sweet when we flop middle set and the pre-flop aggressor still likes his hand on this low flop. The hijack eventually folds after taking some time to think about it. With the hijack folding out and now being heads up, and this board being pretty draw heavy, I'm going to raise now rather than waiting and make it $75. And under the gun quickly calls. $200 in the middle now, and heads up, we see a king of hearts on the turn, and under the gun checks to me. Hoping he's fishing for a flush draw or this king hits him in a good way, I bet 125, and he quickly calls again, which is great news at this point. The dealer quickly takes us to the river with 450 in the pot, which comes down to 4 hearts, basically a brick. This time under the gun sits for just a few seconds before deciding he's going to bet into me like he did on the flop, but not on the turn. Seems like an odd move, and I question in my head if he has specifically 8-9 for a flop straight, but this puts me all in, and I make the call. He shows ace jack of diamonds chasing the nut flush draw and bricking out, and our set holds. Nice way to get this one started. We're seated in a 2-3 300 cap game and bought in for the max, waiting for Rampage and Mariano to make their rounds to the tables, and the next playable hand we see comes in the form of pocket 7s yet again, this time from the cutoff. It folds to me, so I raise to 15, and only the big blind's going to make the call. So with $30 in the middle and heads up, the flop comes out 6 ace 5 with 2 diamonds. The big blind checks to me, and I continue for $11, about 1/3 pot. The big blind is a good player from what I've seen, and he's either playing ranges very well here knowing that ace probably hit me, or he hit this board pretty hard, and he makes a raise to $40. Feeling like the seats have changed from the last hand we just played, I too make the call, to just 1 raise in this pot. Sure, he could have all the 2 pairs here or even flop to set, and I have a second pair, a backdoor low flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. After I call, we have 110 in the pot, and we'll see a turn, which is the queen of spades. He cuts out chips and makes a wager of $75. This is a bit large here, and most players will size down if they have a strong hand, but without picking up any equity and being downgraded to third pair, I just fold. I'm going to look for a better spot to battle back. Next one, we're an under the gun and had straddled when we look down at first class pocket rockets, more obscurely known as snake eyes, batteries, teepees, and needles. Who knew? After a few players had limped, we get last action and opt to raise to $45. The hijack who we flopped a set against earlier is racking his chips for a table change and makes the call. So heads up with 95 in the middle, we wait for the dealer to make everything tidy, and the flop comes 3-5-3 with 2 hearts. This is a great flop for a big pocket pair, as I don't think the hijack is calling a large 3-bet pre-flop with little cards, unless it's specifically something like ace 3 of spades or clubs. But that's only 2 combos of hands compared to all the big cards he could be holding. Given that, I'm happy to continue, and targeting an overpair, I reach for chips, but he instantly mucks. He shows us king 10 offsuit. Under the gun straddled this one when I look at ace 4 suited from the button. The hijack had raised to 15, and I just flat here. This is likely better played as a 3-bet, but at the time, that's what I did. So we're going to go heads up with $40 in the pot, and we're going to see jack, king, king with 2 diamonds. When the hijack checks to me, only having one over and a backdoor straight and flush draw, I'm happy to check behind, and the turn brings the Queen of Hearts, adding a second flush draw. That's the one we hold the nuts to. The hijack leads this time for $20, and since we picked up additional equity, now with 4 cards to both the straight and the flush, we make the call. It's quite possible we're way behind though, to a hijack opening range. Now with $80, the river completes our straight with the 10 of spades. The hijack keeps his betting around half pot with $45. No need to raise here as I'm behind King Queen, King Jack, and King 10, so I make the call with my highest hopes this will be a chop. And indeed, he rolls over Ace Queen suited, and we'll chop this one up. For this hand, we're in the hijack. +1, he liked his holdings, and he open raised to $15, and the action folded around to us, and once again we look down at pocket aces. We consider our sizing, and given the table action at this point in the day, I think we can go a bit larger and get called. So we opt to make it $60, and +1, he decides to make the call, so we'll be roughly $135 in the pot, and we're going to see a little low flop on this one. 3 deuce 6 rainbow, playing heads up. +1 decides to check to me. He's the strong player from the prior hand. I go half pot of $70 setting up for a turn jam, but this board hits none of whatever he has, and he mucks his cards. Maybe 1/3 pot would have been a better sizing, but another pocket aces hand goes uncracked. Can't beat this record. In the next one from the cutoff, we look down at pocket jacks, and we raise the action to $15. The action folds around to the small blind, who is the only player that wants to tango. Fun fact, he's also from Simi Valley, and made the commute down for the meetup game today with Mariano and Rampage. The flop comes 4-4-6. The small blind grabs a stack of chips, then checks to me. This often is an angle to get the player behind to think you're strong, but generally it signals just the opposite. So I decided to size up compared to the pot, and I bet $20. He takes a few seconds to look at his cards, inspect the flop, asks the dealer how much my bet is, and then he makes the call, so this has me a little worried. With $70 in the middle, the turn comes the 5 of diamonds. I'm starting to feel the slope getting slippier because the turn makes this board even wetter than it was. Paired board with straight and now a flush draw out there, he checks, and I'm happy to check behind on this one for pot control. The river double pairs the board with the 6 of clubs, and now what our opponent does is hilarious. He bets 1/7 of the pot. That's like 14% of this pot. I don't think it matters. I know he has a 4, a 6, the 7-8, or even the 3-7. I have to call. He indeed turned the nut straight. I guess that was a blocker bet on his part, but it got him paid, and now it's time for some fun.
You talk.
It's like fucking with him.
All right, we fucking both talk.
So we're going to, let me start here. All right, you talk.
Are you gonna? Okay.
No,
We're not gonna spoil any surprises.
I'm gonna talk. So we're here at the meetup game for
Rampage.
Oh, Rampage Poker.
And Happy Face Holdem.
And Happy Face Holdem.
And Dish Poker.
Some guy named Mariano showed up too.
He doesn't have as many subscribers as we do.
I don't know who he is. Anyway, so we're gonna have some big news coming up here soon.
Big news.
This guy and me that we'll bring to you in just a little bit. Okay, the dealer's gonna play my hand. So anyways, cheers to
the good news.
To big news and big announcements and good news.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm trying to not to make a face.
That's Bellagio bad.
That's a Bellagio bad. Good news coming your way. Good news.
You never look, but the rest of us are gonna look. Okay, now it's on you.
You would check. Just check. You would check. Okay. Yeah, great.
I'll check.
So you can look. Yeah, you can look at that. Yeah.
I didn't check yet, but I'll check. Go ahead.
Yeah, check's good. Check's good.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah, it'll be PLO soon.
Perfect. Check.
It's actually set up for such a big pot.
Looks
The way
good.
it's run out.
It's like a flip. It's like a flip.
There's no way, dude. No way no one has anything here.
I love
Look
how
at
everyone
this.
is very
Oh
friendly.
my god.
I mean, I have a lot of what's on the board. So I'm
go ahead.
surprised.
I have a straight on one board.
I have 8, that's all.
I have a 10
I
on
got
the
it.
top board.
I got a deuce on the bottom board. I
I
have a
win that
deuce.
one, so I get half the pot.
You win that one?
I have 10 high.
You got 7, 8.
Where do you
Oh,
have
you have
a
a
straight?
straight.
7?
He's got it straight down here.
Aren't 8s good here?
No, he has an A6. He has a pair of 6s. He has
I have
8s.
8s though. 8s.
Oh, so you're good.
Yeah, so we chop.
We chop.
That was the friendliest one.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen
One board?
Two boards.
Two boards.
Don't worry.
Mariano just fixed my phone so I can record. He's like, delete your shit. I'm like, oh. How do PLO players do this? Like, where they like, look at all the cool cards.
How do you play this?
Two cards.
My turn?
Yeah, I just created an account just to add you guys. Yeah, man. And you guys for somewhere, right?
There you go, man. Nice to meet you.
Okay, likewise, man. Have a pleasure.
Okay, nice to meet you, Cuzzo.
Good luck, you guys.
Thank you.
So that's to keep the chips like kind of stacked.
I just wanted to meet
It's on them, right?
Tell me.
And you have to play two cards, and you can only play two cards per board. On that board, if you have 3 diamonds, it's no good.
He's an online PLO crusher.
Yeah, I know, exactly. He's like, how do you play this? Ah, okay, yeah.
Ooh, let's go.
150.
Hot, remember.
150.
That's like 220. I might have negative equity.
110 more.
This is beginner's luck right here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's the pot size? Is he allowed to hold it?
Yeah, he
Like half it.
Yeah.
it might be close.
Fuck my first pot limit Omaha. All right, let's go for it. My call.
Oh,
My call. Fuck it. I don't know what's going on. I might be in trouble now.
Queen 8. That's on one board. That's it, though.
That's pretty good.
Queen 8 up top. All right, I have deuce 9 on the bottom. And 7. I have a full house up top, but he's got a bigger full house.
Chop.
chop, 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 chop.
Chop, chop.
Money back.
So you don't have a full house on that one. Just so you know, or whatever.
Just
Yeah,
leave
hey,
it.
hey.
Just leave it.
Oh, because I have to play both cards, right?
All right, guys, that's a wrap from that one. You know, we actually had a 5.2 magnitude earthquake that night. It was Ethan Rampage's first earthquake he'd ever felt. And I did a whole interview with him about how he felt about his first earthquake. Yep, never hit the record button. It happens, right? Anyways, overall, numbers for the session. There's no numbers to show you today. We were in for 300 in this game and out for 300. We had a dead break-even session. Been a long time since that's happened. Not a win, not a loss. I'll take it because we had a lot of fun at this meetup game. The Hustler Casino is really killing it with these events. They're very gracious hosts. And for all the vloggers that are coming out and making the trip out and doing these events, we all thank you. And as always, don't forget to wash your hands.